Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Just Another Talk. On this episode, we're going to be talking about Rick Chow, which is the Asian guy on the left, and we're going to be talking about Cyrus Carmack, who's a 14-year-old boy who was fatally shot by Rick Chow. I want to start with the article real quick because there's a few things in here that are interesting before I get to the videos, and we will watch the video of the security camera footage of what he was doing in the store. But first off, a South Carolina jury on Monday found a store owner not guilty of murder in 2023 shooting of a black 14-year-old. The jury returned a verdict for Rick Chow, 61, who is Asian, shot Osiris Belton in the back after chasing him from his convenience store in Colombia. He maintained he acted in self-defense. He maintained he acted to defend his son. The verdict sent waves of anguish and grief through the African American community in Rockland County, where nearly half the population is black. After the verdict was read, sobs and cries of distress could be heard coming from Carmack Belton's family, seated in the gallery. Chow sat silently frozen before slowly bowing his head onto his interlocked hands. Defense lawyer Jack Swerling said they're very pleased with the verdict, but also feel for Carmack Belton's family. Of course they're pleased with the verdict. They won. My heart goes out to them, but a 14-year-old kid should not be roaming the streets of Colombia or South Carolina with semi-automatic pistol loaded and ready to fire, he said. And this is going to be an interesting portion of the case, but we're going to get to that. Prosecutors and defense lawyers in closing arguments painted different pictures of the 2023 shooting. Prosecutors said Chow acted in anger because he wrongly thought the teen had stolen 4 bottles of water from the store. A defense lawyer said Chow fired to defend his son only after the teen pointed a gun at him. This case is not about a shoplifter. This case is about a father who sees a gun pointed at his son and had to make a decision, defense attorney Sean Kent told jurors during closing arguments. Nothing that Andy Chow testified Carmack Belton pointed a gun at him, which is again another part of this that is like, wait a minute. One says there was a gun pointed at him, the other one never says there was a gun pointed at him. Who's telling the truth? Prosecutors acknowledged Carmack Belton had a semi-automatic pistol, but they said it fell on the ground during the chase and he never threatened anyone with it. Prosecutors said Chow chased the teen more than 130 yards, or 109 meters if you're in the UK. So in other words, more than a football field. And apparently he didn't steal anything. Gibson told jurors that Chow chased the kid down, shot him in the back. During closing arguments, Gibson placed a bottle of water before jurors. Gibson and Chow, at the end of the day, believe that a human is not more than that. But wait, it gets better. Gibson said multiple witnesses testified that they didn't see anything in Carmack Belton's hands and didn't see him point a gun as he ran from the store. Nobody testified that happened. That doesn't have the last name Chow, Gibson said. That's a big deal. The fatal shooting prompted vigils and protests outside the store. Empty water bottles were arranged to spell out Cyrus at one of 2023 vigils. Those are the facts that we have from the article. Now let's watch the security camera footage of what it looked like of Cyrus going into the corner store or the gas station, whatever you want to call it. So he walks in. She asks him to put down the backpack, and he puts it down, as you can see. And now, in this portion, I would say, like any 14-year-old kid who probably doesn't have a lot of money on him at least, he aimlessly walks around trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to get? And at the same time, I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know if that's what he was thinking. But judging by how he walks around the store, that's what I would assume. And I know there's going to be people out there, oh, well, he had a gun on him. Listen, I get it. I'm not condoning that fact. So let's see. He's in the top right-hand corner of the screen. It's kind of hard to see at this moment from this angle. So this is where the alleged robbery happens, right? I wish they would have went back to the other angle. I don't know why they used this one, but so yeah, so it looks like he's putting some in his pocket, but then it looks like he puts it back. And I don't know, maybe he was trying to steal and then he saw her and was like, let me put this shit back. And they ask him, "What do you have in your pocket?" And he doesn't want to show. And you see Chow grab something. And he just takes off running. And this is where the video pretty much cuts out because there's nothing else that happens. From my perspective, listen, I'm a neutral party here. I try to approach things from a neutral perspective. I try to look at things objectively, right? There are multiple factors here that are troubling, okay? The kid had a gun. That's a problem. Chow chooses to chase this kid out of the store, and not only chase him out of the store, but then proceed to chase him about 130 yards. That's another problem. At this point, they say the gun fell out because he tripped, or whatever the case might have been, and then Chow shoots him. Chow said he pointed the gun at my son. But all the witnesses so far say something completely different. Here's one of the witnesses testifying.
Did you at any point in time see anything in Cyrus's hands?
I did not.
Okay. Would you be at a point where you could see things that were in his hands?
Yes.
All right. Can you stand and demonstrate to the jury what you mean by shooting sense? And hold on for a minute. Let me move this. May she come down again, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
When I drove down there and stopped, the scene was over here. And I rolled down my window, and he was in a stance like this.
And what did you do when you saw Mr. Chow in a stance like that, the defendant, Mr. Chow, in a stance like that?
I asked him, was everything okay? And he said, no. Call 911.
And is that what you did?
Yes, I had my family in the car, so I needed to get them out of danger and drove them up to the next apartment lot. And then I ran back down. And as I was going up, though, I was calling 911, but I was so nervous because I needed to get back down there and help them. And I just gave the phone to my daughter because I couldn't get the information out.
Still, right? There's still a little bit of, all right, a little benefit of the doubt, right? She didn't see Cyrus holding a gun. She didn't see him pointed at him. And she didn't see everything from start to finish. She just saw part of it at the beginning when they were chasing him. And then at the end, once he's laying on the ground. So maybe he did point the gun at her. Let's watch the testimony of Andy Chow, which is the son of Ricky Chow, obviously.
You know how to identify one, correct?
If they're acting weird to me, that is.
What is acting weird to you?
It's how I identify shoplifters.
They keep looking up at me.
Okay.
They keep walking around the store, wandering around, and if they keep, checking the pocket or something. All of those combined.
I'm even thinking about times I've gone into a store and left my wallet in the car, walk around for a minute, and then I walk out. Would you put me in your database if I did that?
I would not.
Would you consider me weird?
No, sir.
What if I have my hands in my pockets, I'm dressed like I am now, and I walked around and looked around and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so then I just walked out. Would you tell me to empty my pockets?
No, sir.
Why?
You didn't touch anything.
Okay, but I have my hands in my pockets. I'm looking up at you. I'm looking down. Let's say I did. Let's say I took some waters out and I put them back. Would you chase me?
It would depend if I could see what you were doing. If I couldn't see, then I wouldn't know what you were doing.
You could see what Cyrus was doing, could you not?
Not completely, no, sir.
So you weren't sure? You weren't sure?
I believed he had pocketed something.
I'm sorry. You believed he had?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why did you believe that?
Because of the things that happened in the store.
Okay. So he had his hands in his pockets.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Testified you watched him when he walked in.
I saw him walk in.
Yeah. So he put his backpack down.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And then The defense offered defense 6, and you said, yeah, that's how he looked when he came in.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If he had a bulge in his pocket when he came in, why wouldn't he have a bulge in his pocket when he left? This is your exhibit.
Well, I was mainly just seeing him put the backpack on the.
Under direct, you told the lawyer that this is how he looked, and this is what you saw when he came in the store.
Yes, sir.
Clearly has a bulge in his pocket when he comes in the store. Why wouldn't he have a bulge in his pocket when he left the store?
I was not focused on the bulge when he came in.
You just testified that this is what he looked like and this is what his pocket looked like when he came in.
Looking at the picture, yes, sir.
You identified this as being him, how he looked when he came in.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I ask you again, if he had a bulge in his pocket when he came in, why would you harass him and say he's got a bulge in his pocket when he left? You see what I'm saying?
I did not notice the bulge when he came in that day.
Okay. And then you talked about, yeah, this is the bulge I saw that he had in his pocket. This is your exhibit that you just introduced through the lawyer. This is
In the
defense
picture, I
number
see
5.
in the picture I see the bulge.
Okay. You see any water bottles in his pocket?
I cannot see in the pocket. Yes, sir.
Well, why? You identified something black and a bulge in his pocket. See that?
I did.
The reason this is an evidence is because you identified it through your lawyer.
Okay.
You don't recognize this from 10 minutes ago.
I mean, I see like the shadow of the pocket, yes, sir.
Do you see a water bottle in his pocket?
I cannot see into his pocket.
What do you see in his pocket? All right.
Sorry.
Can we? I guess we can.
I cut this portion out in the video just because I had misspoken, and it's a lot easier to edit it this way than to actually, do it the other way. But regardless, this part of the video is just an important detail that Andy Chow stated when he said that the kid turned around and pointed the gun at him. That's what he said when the police interrogated him, because in court, he said something completely different. And so I'm going to play two videos back to back. First, the one about what he said about the gun and what it looked like, and then what he said on the stand about Cyrus running away.
When Andy sat up here, there was nobody to protect him from cross-examination. Nobody. Nobody to protect him. There was conversation about a barrel. Andy says, I saw a silver barrel. Folks, I submit to you, there is a gun like on here. This is not the condition of the gun. You'll see it on that video. The condition of the gun was this. That's a black barrel, right? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at the end of the day, when Andy said,
I don't know. There's one more video of the son that I want to watch. Now here comes the video of what Andy said to the prosecutor when asked what was Cyrus doing once they chased him out of the store. For some reason during recording I couldn't find the video, but I inserted it later. So that's why you see these edits that are different than usual.
Was he running towards you?
No, sir.
Was he running away from you? It's not a hard question.
I guess not to me, yes, sir. He was going.
He was trying to get away from where you were, correct?
Could be.
It could be. You and your dad are yelling at him and running after him.
I did not. Outside of the store, I did not yell at him.
You yelled at him in the store.
Well, I called out to him, hey.
And your dad yelled to him when he got out of the store.
And my dad called out hey to him, yes.
And he ran away from you.
Okay, yes, sir.
I know, I'm asking you. This is your chance to answer my questions. And they're not hard, are they?
Yes,
He
sir.
ran away from you and your father.
And before I get into my complete thought process about it, I want to show just a few other videos that I have. I believe this is a representative, if I'm not mistaken, or actually this is the candidate for governor. Todd Rutherford announces that Cyrus's family will still be pursuing a civil lawsuit. And they'll probably win the civil lawsuit, honestly. I'd be surprised if they don't.
A child that looked like their own, that did nothing wrong. A child that all the witnesses described had fear in his eyes when he left the store. And then he started to run as two grown men chased him down over a football field and shot him dead. This should not happen. This makes us feel as if our children don't matter, and they do. This makes us feel like Cyrus's life did not matter, and it did. What you see tonight is going to be the anger. And what we ask is that that anger not turn into anything else but words, to go online, to talk about it, to discuss it, but not to act like what people in their evil minds think that we are. We are certainly better than that. Cyrus was better than that. His family is better than that. It's unfortunate that this was the jury's verdict. We have no choice but to accept it, but we don't disagree, but we don't agree. There is no way that a child who did nothing wrong, who was shot in his back, how that jury can justify that verdict. I've been practicing law for almost 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. I don't understand it. I'm at a loss to explain it to his father, Troy, standing beside me. I'm at a loss to explain it to his mother, who couldn't take it and had to leave. I'm at a loss to explain it to his family, because I too don't understand it. I've talked to the sheriff tonight. We all asked for calm. We all asked that everybody make sure that we celebrate Cyrus's life, that we make sure that his legacy continues like his life did.
I don't completely agree with his thought process. You know, I can hear now in the comments, oh, the kid had a gun, oh, he's not innocent, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is one problem that I think representatives in our community don't understand that you need to address. He shouldn't have had a gun. Why does a 14-year-old have a gun? I don't care how unsafe your neighborhood is. A 14-year-old with a gun is a problem. It's number one. Okay, so address that fact. Do I think it was irresponsible for Mr. Chow to shoot him? Yes. Do I think it was murder? Yes. Do I think he should have went to jail? Yes. I think here you have a situation where the argument wasn't made clear enough for the juries to understand, as well as other factors, which I can only make assumptions about, but it's just my train of thought. Let's listen real quick to the charges and the verdict for each charge.
Indictment number 2023 GS 4007440. State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chike Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Sign number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
So they did charge him with murder. Let's see what you get for murder in South Carolina. The sentence for murder in South Carolina is a mandatory minimum term of 30 years to life in prison, or the death penalty if statutory aggravating circumstances are proven. Maybe going for murder wasn't the right charge, and maybe the jury didn't see that. Maybe you go for a little bit of a lesser crime, whether that's, second degree or third degree or manslaughter. If the prosecution would have went for a lesser charge, they probably would have got him convicted. I think the issue was the crime that they tried to get him for, which was murder. Ultimately, my point and my thought process on this is there are multiple facets to this story that cause him to be ruled not guilty. Do I think he should be guilty? I do. I do think he should have been guilty of murder. I think you chase somebody and shoot him in the back. That's a problem. You can't do that. At this point in time, I don't really see that they have another course of action, because they can't try him for the same crime twice. Maybe they can try him for a lesser crime. I'm not sure. I don't think the prosecution is probably going to do that. They're probably licking their wounds because they thought they were going to win, so that's probably not going to happen. But the civil case, they're probably going to get paid, and let's see what happens moving forward. But I think they got this one wrong. I'd really be interested to see what the jury looks like. I think we're getting to a point in this country, specifically on the internet, because I haven't seen this really spill into real life just yet, but on the internet you see a lot of people, when they see black people in aggressive situation, immediately the blame is placed on the black people. And I think that each situation is a case by case basis. There are times where I will completely agree and say, hey, this black person was completely out of pocket for doing this shit. But there are also instances where you can look at the situation, understand the nuance, and understand that sometimes the escalation is one-sided and it doesn't come from a black person. So I want to hear what you guys think regardless. So let me know. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time.